Hi there, this is Dean Morgan, and nice to see you. Our new show today, SMC Daley. Congratulations, you started a new way of finance for you and your loved ones, also healthcare. We're going to talk about all that funny stuff here, but before I start, let's talk to Mike Daley himself. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So can you tell me more about what you're doing and what your fun stuff is?
Sure. I own Texas Financial and Health Awareness. I have my own healthcare company, and I do a lot of Medicare. Speaking of Medicare, people out there that are turning 65 have a lot of problems going on with Medicare. But with Social Security, if you're turning 65, you get 3 months before to sign up. You need to take that 3 months. I had 2 clients recently. They didn't get their Medicare card 2 days before they turned 65, or the month that they turned 65. So if you're not on top of it and having an insurance agent like myself on top of it, then you're going to have issues.
Yeah, I was online and I got mine pretty quick. Fortunately, I did it for several months before. They said, you need to start about 2 or 3 months before. And so I did that. And so at least I got my card, and I am 65, guys. Yes, I am 65.
Great. Okay, so another thing we're going to talk about is healthcare. Dean and I work together. We have a healthcare plan for single people, individual people. It's $150 a month. And then we have a family plan that's $300 a month. And basically, doctors love this because instead of hiring someone to fill out the insurance claims and waiting 2 to 3 months to get their payment, they could get their payment up front. We have what is called cash pay. So for an example, we have adrenal gland cancer in my family. It's very rare. Only 60 people since 1998 has had that at Mayo Clinic. 3 were in my family. So I had an ultrasound done with contrast in January. Generally, give a rough estimate on how much an ultrasound would cost.
Usually an insurance company would be about a couple thousand plus.
Right, about $3,400 in that area, $3,000. I was able to get it for $123. So we're able to get you reasonable prices. MRIs we can get for $250. CT scans around $400. So we're able to get reasonable prices for high expensive. And the doctors love it because they got paid that day. So they didn't have to wait 3 to 4 months to get paid. And they would have got paid $123 anyway, probably, because insurance would knock it down.
Yeah, but most times, those doctors have to wait 60, 90 days up to 180 days to get paid. Whereas our program, we get paid immediately. I mean, it's no waiting. And even if, for the doctor's point of view, they get paid every month, whether they see the patient or not. That's the best part of the program.
Right.
And on top of that, any kind of surgery situation, depending upon the doctor, could be between 25 and 50% off the regular price, not the inflated insurance price.
Right.
So in the inflated insurance price, you have an appendectomy, say it costs $10,000. I don't know what it costs, but a regular price to an insurance company, our program costs you $2,500. And if you don't have the full amount, you pay in payments.
Right. And we also have, we can help with the credit on that too. If you need to pay $2,500, you can pay it off for 12 months.
Yeah. It's whatever, very easy to work with.
Right. Another thing on the Social Security. So I had 2 clients that signed up online exactly 3 months before they turned 65. They didn't get their Medicare card until 2 days before their 65th birthday month. So people out there that need Social Security, you need to sign up for a Medicare. You need to do it 3 months. Don't wait till the last minute because you're not going to get it.
Would you want to go over the different the prices, the A, B, C, D, whatever,
Sure.
on all that stuff?
Okay, so A is hospitalization.
We're talking about Medicare now, guys.
Medicare.
Okay.
So Medicare Part A is hospitalization. If you work 10 years or more, you get that automatically free. Now, Part B, you pay for. And it kind of depends on your income. So if your income as a single person is around $85,000 or less, you're going to pay $185 a month to have Part B. If you're looking maybe 150, 200,000 as a single person, you're going to be paying a higher amount. Don't have that exact amount, but it could be $200-$300 a month just for Part B. And then as a couple, I have couples that make around $600,000 a year, and they're paying the most for Part B, which is around $400 or $500 a month. And then Part D, as in David, for prescriptions, is also $100. And that's before you even get a supplement or an Advantage plan. So Part B is for doctors and medical equipment. Then there's Medicare Part C, as in cat, and it's basically called Complete. That's HMO and PPOs. So PPO means you can go to any doctor you want. You don't need a referral. Generally, there's zero premiums, but that's going to be changing soon. That's probably going to go up, maybe 10 or 15 bucks, but it's always been zero monthly premiums. HMOs, you have to go in network. So you want to make sure once the agent that you have that they look up just to make sure your doctor's in the program. Because if the doctor is not taking that plan, you shouldn't sign up for it, because then you're going to have to pay full cost. So HMOs, I usually sell to like little ladies that go to the supermarket and church, and their doctor's in the plan. HMOs are hard to work with sometimes, so that's why I would prefer or tell people to get a PPO. And then Part D is for prescriptions. So one good thing that happened in 2025 is there's a max out-of-pocket now for prescriptions. The max out-of-pocket's $2,000. So once you reach the $2,000, you don't pay any more. So some of those expensive drugs, so like people that have AFib with their heart disease, Eliquis is around $600. I think my client just paid $650. So once you pay that 3 times, you're basically done. But usually when you go on a Part D, the $650 is basically the deductibles. So this year, the annual deductible is $595. So once you meet that, then it drops down to around $47 because it's a Tier 3 drug. There's 5 different tiers. Tier 1 is generic. Tier 2 is generic preferred, and so forth. So tiers 1 and 2 are generally free or maybe $10 a month. Tiers 3, 4, and 5. So 3 and 4 are more expensive, and Tier 5 is experimental, and that's usually like 33% of the cost of the drug. So like on cancer drugs and so forth. Now, supplements, there's Plan G, not Part G, Plan G. A lot of people get that confused. And Plan G, there's a maximum out-of-pocket annually of $257. Once you reach that, medically, you don't have to pay anything else. And then Plan N, you pay $20 every time you see a doctor. It doesn't matter if it's a specialist or not. And then there's some high deductible G plans where I believe the deductible is around $2,800. So you pay everything until you reach that deductible, and then you don't have to pay any more.
I think there should be a Plan E for everything.
That's good. I like that.
Just make a Plan E. The other thing was we talked about the medication over in Canada and also Mexico. We have a program called Total RX that basically gives you the discounts. Now, I think you said you had another program as well that was discounted.
Right. I have a plan. It gives discounts like on those real expensive weight loss drugs, the GLP-1 drugs. Mm-hmm. And then they also have, through Canada, they can get Eliquis cheaper.
Well, our program, basically, they allowed the medication to be here in the States. So therefore, they can get it cheaper here versus, so those thousands of dollars for a pill only cost $30 instead of, that's a much better deal, especially for Canadian or whatever. We had a situation where we had to go to Tijuana, and this lady had terminal cancer. Mm-hmm. And they said, well, you're going to get the drug if you come all the way out here and spend a lot of money or less money in Tijuana. So we flew out there, and then they gave her the medication. Of course, she was far gone anyway. She was stage 4 already, so unfortunately. But they did have the medication out there, and it's cheaper. But now you can get that same medication here in the States for a fraction of the price,
right,
with our program, and it's only $15 a month per person, which is pretty inexpensive.
That's pretty cheap.
So yeah, so come on down with that one. That's part of my program.
I do also have another plan for prescriptions. Like my wife takes Tegretol, and it's been around since the 1970s. It's for seizures, and it's very expensive on its own. We went with another company. I got her a WellCare plan that's a 0 monthly premium, so that she's compliant with Medicare. So, but we hardly ever use it. We use this other one. She pays $18 a month, and she gets all her generics and all her vitamins free for 90 days.
Nice.
Otherwise, the Tegretol just by itself was like over $100.
Hey, so I've lost a little inches. That's a probiotic pill that you told me about. You want to talk about that?
Sure, it's Biomax. I saw it on one. You're playing on your phone these games, and they pop up, and they see these women, and they've lost all this weight and so forth. I don't know about the weight loss so much, but it's really helped my wife and I with our stomachs. It's really changed my gut.
Well, my clothes are feeling better, and I know I look better, so I saw something's working.
Yeah, you're probably losing inches, but maybe not weight so much. I think I have lost about 10 pounds in the last 2 months, but...
Yeah, well, I know you've lost a lot of weight, but for me, people say, he lost some weight. I said, well, I lost inches for sure, but I'm not talking about pounds. But like you said, your body takes about 90 to, well, my age, I'm old fart, about 4 to 5 months before anything kicks in. But it's just okay. I'm in no hurry. Want to lose a few pounds, who cares?
Well, they said you need to stay on it for at least 3 months to see a difference.
Right.
And I'm on my second month.
Yeah, I just started my second month, so that's kind of cool. Right? So basically, the second thing we're talking about today was going to be a program that you have that helps you, like accounting.
Right. So we have a new company coming out. It's called Big Ledger. Basically, it's going to be like QuickBooks on steroids. So it's an AI company. So like how Dee and I are talking right now, that's what you would do. You would talk to the AI. So you say Big Ledger. Big Ledger would ask you a question. What's the name of your company? What's your address? And how do you do your taxes? And then you would tell it. And then it would go ahead and put it in. And then it would ask you some more questions. Do you use QuickBooks? And if you do, you give that information. And then it would say, okay, because we can configure QuickBooks into this if you want to continue to use QuickBooks. And so forth. And it just questions back and forth for about 15, 20 minutes. And after 24 to 48 hours, you'll be all set up with our plan. It's called Big Ledger. Four of the main things we can do right off the bat is bookkeeping, inventory, invoicing, and payroll. We're also going to have an assistant. So like how Dean and I are talking right now, after the call, it will go ahead and email you what the high points of the call so that you have that.
Cool. It'd be easy to do, and a lot faster and inexpensive, I guess.
It's very inexpensive. So if you have one company, it's $97 a month. If you have 2 to 5 companies, it's $149. And if you have more than 5 companies, 6 or more, it's $249. Now, QuickBooks, they charge you, I believe, $100 per company. So ours is going to be a lot cheaper than theirs. Plus, ours interact with each other. So say you own a restaurant or a bar, and you've put all your information in as far as how you've all the alcohols and food and everything. Once a week or once a month, however you do your shopping, you could say, I need a list of everything I need. We'll just go ahead and email it to you. And then you could go through, check it, and order what you need. That's going to save you a lot of time and money.
Everything's internet based, I guess?
Pretty much. It's all connected. So it's going to have all your business. Oh, another thing that it will do too is, so say you're got 2 different types of marketing plans. One where you do something like an ad or something, and then another maybe you do something like this and you talk and you give a little speech or something about your whatever you do. And then it will tell you so far with this one, you have 15 ROI, but this ad really isn't doing it for you. So it will tell you on how you're spending your money and how you're spending your marketing money and what's working and what's not working. It's really great.
Is it connected to any kind of other apps on your phone, or that's something different?
No, it will have an app on your phone as well. But basically, in your computer, anytime you have a question or something, it will go ahead. You just go ahead and pull it up and start asking it questions, and it will email you all the information.
And how does one actually get this information?
Well, we're going to have our emails at the bottom of the screen here. And mine is daileyinsurance@gmail.com. You just go ahead and send me your information that you need, and we'll get you all signed up.
Fantastic. Good. Well, let me talk about my program.
Okay.
Well, we talked about the program earlier, but Healthcare SMC. Go online, it's healthcaresmc.com. And the program we talked about earlier is the same program, the direct pay between the doctor and the patient. And that's the primary thing. So you got to go on there, and we start signing people up, and we're going to clinics. And then, of course, we work together, Mike and I, so we're going to get that going. And then once we do that, you go into the clinic, and then you'll be able to get health care for $150 a month. And you can go in as many times as you need to and not have to worry about what it costs or copay, deductible, none of that stuff. No, it's just that's it. And we already talked about the out-of-pocket stuff. It's all the same thing. And you get to see a doctor for even wound care. I got a boo-boo right here. See that? It's a wound care thing. But that's kind of how our program works. It's very simple. We're doing that in India. It's healthcaresmcindia.com. And we're basically trying to help people with their mental state, mental issues, ADD, ADHD, suicidal tendencies, whatever. But people in India don't like the word mental health. I don't think anybody does, really. I mean, no. I don't think anybody likes the word. So we're not going to call it that. We're basically calling it self-help. Make you feel better about yourself. I mean, make you more productive. It's about you personally. And if you have to talk to somebody, you have somebody to talk to for as little as $25 per session. Versus having to talk to a doctor for $100, $200, for $500 a session. In some cases, I've talked to several psychiatrists. It's just $25 a session. And then if you need to be escalated from there, then you talk to the doctor and charge you extra like $100 for the session. But primarily he'll give you the medications for it or the prescription for it, and then you go to my Total RX program to get the cheaper stuff. Y'all know me as Dean Morgan, the actor. Sheldon Meshuggah is the character, and also the Macher. So go on YouTube and watch all my Michigas and craziness online. I am Michiggy crazy, it's kind of my thing. My character sounds like this. Hi there. So you can't know how it sounds. So be able to check it out and have fun watching it. And if you like fart jokes and pies, you'll enjoy Sheldon. Other than Sheldon, I also work with insurance. I sell or help sell commercial insurance. I don't actually sell it myself, but I have agents that do. And basically they sell the commercial auto, the workers' comp, the general liability, and that kind of thing. I've been doing that for 41 years. We started out with auto. Back in the day, I was called D. Morgan Insurance. And then we went from there to America's Commercial Agency. So America's Commercial Agency is the main carrier for the a company for the workers' comp, GL, and whatnot. So our company's been selling that for since 2005, and then before that we were D. Morgan Insurance. So basically that's kind of how we started with the insurance deal, and then we went from there. And then I also own a company that takes people back and forth to the doctor. It's called Baby Boomer Buddies.
Oh, that's cool.
And so they like the word baby boomer because we're baby boomers,
right?
But not millennials. I'm baby boomers. But however, anybody can, But I started that because it was boring. Sometimes my business wasn't doing as well. So my mother said, "Why don't you have a driving job of some sort?" So I started doing that. So we take people to the airport, but I originally specialized in 90-year-olds. And so, but you can't rush a 90-year-old.
No.
No, you have to take your time. They're in a walker and a cane or whatever, and you got to make sure they get in the car and make sure they get to the doctor's office and that kind of thing. So I've been doing that since 2011, and the acting bill with Michigan 2011. But I didn't start Sheldon stuff to 2015. And the name of that company is Meshuggah Productions, which we're doing a new movie called Sheldon Meshuggah Returns to the Future. It's the story of the whoopee cushion. So it'll be funny watching that in the theaters next year. Well, we're going to shoot it first, so give us a few minutes to put it together. Working on that project right now. Other things, I'm a FINRA arbitrator. I did that. I've been doing that for almost 12 years. And I'm also a rabbi with a PhD. So Beth Torah in Richardson, Texas is where I go to, and I do weddings. I do most basic stuff. I have an old folks home called Juniper off of Preston Road, and I'm the rabbi over there. And every other Friday night, I do services for them. And then every other week, I do services for Beth Torah. So that's kind of that's all that I do. I'm married for 35 years to Danette, and my kids, Sean and Maura, are grown up and they're doing their thing. So, what about you, Mike? What about your family and stuff?
Okay, I've been married. I'll be 26 years in October to Sheila. We didn't have children. We did have a puppy. His name was Orlando, but he passed a couple years ago. Mm. My wife would really like to get another dog, but we travel so much, it wouldn't really be fair to the dog. So, and, I have my insurance company, and I do a lot of other things. Like I'm working with Dean on the healthcare. I'm working with Mark Robinson with Big Ledger with the accounting stuff. So
it keeps you busy.
It does. I'm very busy.
Oh yeah. What was the other thing we're talking about today? What was it? We talked about everything under the sun except for what? What we talked about. The healthcare. We talked about the ledger thing.
Yeah, we talked about Doge.
Do you want to talk about Doge?
No.
Oh yeah, we talked about the. I'm also on the budget committee.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the budget
committee.
Tell us
about that.
Yeah, the budget.
We just had a meeting.
Yeah, well, every week I get like 5 or 6 emails from these characters in Washington D.C. Although to be on a budget committee is not all that great. It's not glamorous. People think, oh well, he's on a budget committee. No, not really. I went down to Washington, D.C. They invited me one time, and I went down there, and they shook my hand, said hello, and I sat down and didn't say nothing to anybody the entire time I was there. Even if I wanted to ask a question, I was like, I could have probably asked one, but I would have probably got maybe got lucky to get an answer. However, the documentation today specifically stated about Social Security is that they said that it's going to run out by 2034, and right. That was basically what it said. Now, these things change all the time, and the people who run the budget committee, the actual budget committee, there's one specific person, and that actually does the answers. We basically tell them what our thoughts are and changes, and then it's like a pool. There's not that many of us, but there's a pool, and then they take the information and they gather it up and see what works, what doesn't work, kind of like throw it at the wall until it sticks type thing.
Right.
And then they announce they can give it to the president, and the president goes, and then we start over again. So it's kind of how the whole thing works with the government. Unfortunately, the government, most people just think about themselves. They don't care about anybody else. And then they had a deal the other day. I was looking at TikTok about President Trump. He says, "What do you think about healthcare?" I says, "That's really hard. I don't understand healthcare." That's because it's very difficult. I probably you guys don't know this, but I started one day. I was back to about 2011, somewhere around there. I wrote a page and a half outline of the healthcare plan, and I said to myself, "This is too big for me to handle." So I got a fax number of then President-elect Obama, and I faxed it to his office in Chicago, not realizing that he was going to actually use it. And so, lo and behold, on CNN News, about maybe 2 months later, we're talking today about Morgan's National Co-op. Well, that's my program. And so they basically took my program and went with it. The only thing different between what they ended up passing, my program is mine, as you know, is a direct pay with healthcare SMC, whereas they use the insurance companies, that actual insurance companies, to use it because they're all regulated versus direct pay is not regulated. So they got to keep everything regulated.
Right.
So Nancy Pelosi busted her butt over and over and over again to get this thing passed, and she finally passed it. So I
remember her. She's like, "Oh, we'll go through it later and just sign it and it will be great." Well, we know what that was.
Well, they had a Nancy Pelosi thing on HBO about that actual day where she was sitting on a small, teeny tiny desk, and she's calling all these senators and people to vote. We got to get this thing passed. And they finally got it to pass. Mm-hmm. But then they didn't know what to do after that. But that's beside the point. I told them I didn't want credit for that, Michigan, because it was just like, you guys.
It was a disaster.
Yeah, you guys are messing it all up anyway. But our program, Healthcare SMC, which is the correct program, will help. See, the clinics out there, the problem is a lot of clinics went out of business.
Right.
And because basically they followed the Obamacare program. So you have a clinic there sitting there. How am I going to get my work? How am I going to get people in here? Well, we can't get people in there because there's no one driving people to the clinic.
Right.
If you do direct pay, which is what we're supposed to do, I was basing it on zip codes. So whatever zip code it is, the money comes in, and then they have money coming in every single month. That's what my program is. And that's what you and I are working on with the clinics.
Right.
So this way, the clinics don't have to worry about being bought out by a hospital.
Right.
And then,
exactly.
And then hospitals, they are so political, as you already know, and that you can't even get in the door without taking a dump or something. But anyway, that's how bad it is. But anyway, they're just very difficult to deal with. So even I talked to Mark Robinson about it, and he says, "Oh, forget it." I mean, even he has problems. But I did ask him the other day. I says, "Do you have all the clinics? You got at least 2 hospitals that are owned by the clinics or clinics?" Clinic owner says, "Yeah. Well, you already got your in there."
Right.
So you've already got your in with the hospitals already because the clinics are owned by the hospitals.
Right.
And you got the clinics. Hello. So he was like, "Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah." So you just got to go in there and get the hospitals. If you can get the hospitals involved with this, there won't be any more overcharging of fees.
Right.
I mean, no one wants to spend $1 million because they're in the hospital for a month.
Right.
No, and even if you get $1 million bill, the insurance companies wouldn't pay that much anyway. They probably pay maybe $100,000, if that. I mean, and charging $50 for a Tylenol is unacceptable.
Right.
I mean, that's what they're doing.
I know.
$50 for an aspirin. That's crazy. Absolutely nuts. So what other kind of craziness is going on with you?
Not a whole lot right now. And just with Big Ledger is going to be a lot of my time. Mark and I are going to be working on that. I have, I believe, 2,800 letters of intent for small businesses to sign up for this. So it's going to be a lot of onboarding and trying to get them going on that. So it's going to be the next few months. Plus, I still have 7 CEUs I need to do for my insurance license. That's up by July 31st.
Oh.
So that's what I'm going to be doing this weekend. And then I got to take the test for AHIP. That's the one thing with Medicare. You always have to take tests. They're always changing things every year. It's never the same. Unless you get a Medicare supplement, all you need then is to have someone look up your prescriptions every year because those can change. And then a supplement, if you got a G plan, you don't have to worry about it because it's the same every year. Except in November, Congress votes, and they vote to decide if they want to raise Part B as in boy. So right now it's $185, or if they want to raise the deductible. But they increase that every year. So the deductible can go up every year, and the price for your Part B can go up every year.
Well, as well as insurance, it changes daily anyway. So it doesn't matter. That's why your last name is Daley. It changes daily. It does. It does. Back in the day, without computers, we used to get snail mail. So by the time we got in the mail, it had already changed already, and we don't have any idea because we had gotten the mail. Right. Sometimes the MGAs used to call us up and say, "We got to change today," only because we didn't have it. Right. Changing subjects. We do the dental insurance or the dental program. Right. No insurance. Dental insurance sucks. Y'all know that already. It's just awful. It doesn't cover nothing. So my idea was to make the dental easy. $45 a month. You go in and see a dentist, and then they'll only charge you 25 cents on the dollar of whatever the normal cost is, and the real numbers, not the insurance numbers.
Right.
Do you know the insurance companies charge for every side of your tooth?
I believe it.
I mean, every side of the tooth, and every specific tooth, and every side of the tooth has a specific amount they charge. Well, that's again, I call that mishigas, craziness. No, we're not doing that. We're just doing, if it costs $150 or even it costs $300 to do a tooth, the regular price is going to cost like $100, our price to get a filling. I mean, and there's no major drilling or any craziness. Right. It's just a regular filling. You know, an extraction, if extraction costs $1,000. So now with our program, it costs you $250. Or a root canal normally costs you $2,000 or $3,000. It costs you $500 for that,
right?
Or maybe $1,000 at most, depends on the dentist. But you can pay payments on top of that. But the dentists are starving to death. They're relying on you to come in, and you guys can't afford to go in there. It's too expensive,
right? Or
you go, Mom, I just put medication on your tooth; it'll go away. It won't go away, folks. Your biggest problem in your body is your mouth. You don't take care of your mouth, you're going to die young. Yep. So remember that. Go to the dentist, even if you can't afford it. At my program, $45 a month, and when we implement this program by 2026, we're going to be able to get everybody into the dentist that they can afford it. Mm-hmm. Texas is the worst state for dentistry, and they're all starving to death. I talked to my dentist, and they said, when is it going to start? We can't wait. We're starving over here. And on top of that, the insurance companies, they do net 180. Imagine they have to wait 180 days to get paid.
Wow.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's just like, And the other thing I thought about doing, and you and I talked about this earlier, was veterinary.
Oh, yeah.
Veterinary. I mean, you had a deal where it was really cheap for veterinarian. I mean,
yeah, in Carrollton. Carrollton Hospital. She's really good.
But most of these places, $600 for an x-ray? I mean, that's insane. I mean, the surgery, your surgery.
Oh, yeah, the surgeries are outrageous. I mean, I can't even afford a surgery for myself. How can I afford one like that for my pet?
And they let the pet die because they can't afford it. That's unacceptable. I mean, whether it's a dog or a cat or whatever, it doesn't make a difference. So with the veterinary thing, we're going to have a monthly payment, a small monthly payment. I'm not sure what it is. We haven't figured that out yet. And again, we're going to get that 25 cents on the dollar bit with all the veterinaries. And this way, across the board, more animals will be taken care of, whether it be a bird or I have a turtle, for example, and he started out this big. Now he's that big. And he'll tell you off. I need you. And then if you put him down on the ground, he's like a rabbit. It's like, yeah, he's just going to 50 miles an hour. It's just a turtle, but yeah. And then you got to feed him and take care of him, and then you got to take care of all his stuff. And then and he walks around the house like he owns a place. You put a leash on him. I mean, he's just like, it's crazy. I mean, I didn't think he would last that long. These things last 50 years.
Wow.
50.
I know some birds last a good 50 to 100 years.
I call them a dinosaur because birds and turtles are actually dinosaurs in real life. So basically, that's why they last so long. But I never thought an animal this big would last that long. That's insane. And then on top of that, he was kamikaze. He was on top of a table, and he would fall over on the ground, and he'd break his shell every time, and we had to put Band-Aids on him and everything. And then one time he had a cold. And so you're talking about a turtle having a cold. So we ended up having to go to, they took the turtle to the veterinary, and ended up having to fix him up. And we got 53 seconds left on the clock. Anything else you have to talk about today?
Not really. We did a pretty good job. We got a lot of information. Please tune in to us. We're going to be doing this on a monthly basis.
Okay. Well, looking forward to thank you all for coming today. And next time we'll talk about some other crazy stuff, but primarily financial stuff that'll help you and your family be a better choice of a life. Thank you much.
Thank you.